Beautiful beasts, Katie Entrican, signing off. I can't do it. I can do it. Hold on. I can do it. Okay. Here's the headline. I am taking a season break from the podcast. It's going to be 3 months, not 3 years this time, only 3 months. Not a breakup, not a disappearance, not a dramatic flounce into the night with mascara running. A season break. So why? Because life is doing that thing where it's like, hi, yes, I'd like to schedule 3 months of huge changes all at the same time. And it's all good stuff, like genuinely good stuff, like big, exciting, meaningful family changes. But it's still a lot. And at the exact same time, Beautiful Beast Within Studios is growing into something bigger than I can keep duct taping together with late nights and pure adrenaline. And I'm still a one-human show over here. So instead of trying to keep the weekly podcast schedule exactly the same while life is lifing and I'm building a bunch of new things for you, I'm going to press pause on the podcast. What's up, you beautiful beasts? I'm Katie. I'm on a mission to help humans become their favorite versions of themselves and to strive for overall health by healing their relationship to food and exercise, healing their relationship to their body, and most importantly, healing their relationship to themselves, all without ever having to step on a scale. I have had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who have been through a plethora of experiences just being a human and existing. I believe that every single time someone shares their story, at least one person listening will learn from it, be inspired by it, and maybe, just maybe, even change the entire direction of their life. These are the stories of humans unveiling their beautiful beast. Keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. What's up, you beautiful beasts? Okay, so this is my very first solo episode. No interview today, just me. And honestly, I'm kind of excited about it because I've been wanting to sit down and tell you what's happening like a real human. There's probably a bunch of background noise, but whatever. We're here and we're talking. So here's the headline. I am taking a season break from the podcast. It's going to be 3 months, not 3 years this time, only 3 months. Not a breakup, not a disappearance, not a dramatic flounce into the night with mascara running. A season break. This episode is dropping Wednesday, January 7th, and the podcast will be back Wednesday, April 1st. That's the plan. That's the promise. So why? Because life is doing that thing where it's like, hi, yes, I'd like to schedule 3 months of huge changes all at the same time. And it's all good stuff, like genuinely good stuff, like big, exciting, meaningful family changes. But it's still a lot. And at the exact same time, Beautiful Beast Within Studios is growing into something bigger than I can keep duct taping together with late nights and pure adrenaline. And I'm still a one-human show over here. So instead of trying to keep the weekly podcast schedule exactly the same while life is lifing and I'm building a bunch of new things for you, I'm going to press pause on the podcast just for a season. Not because I don't love the show. I love the show and I love you guys. But because I want to come back with more capacity, better systems, and a brain that isn't running on fumes and caffeine and vibes. And also because I'm building toward having help, like real help, like an editor, support, a team. The dream is not for me to be a one-human production company forever. I'm not at a point yet where I can comfortably hire the support that I want without stressing myself out and making everything weird. So for right now, the most responsible move is to pause the weekly podcast for a season, build what needs to be built, and come back stronger. And I need you to hear this part clearly. I'm not disappearing. I'm still here, I'm still creating, I'm still coaching, and I'm still taking clients. I still have spots open. This is not me stepping away from you. This is me taking care of the behind the scenes so that I can keep showing up in a way that's sustainable instead of frantic and fried, like my hair. Now here's the fun part. If you've ever wondered what the big dream is for Beautiful Beast Within Studios, buckle up because I'm about to let you in on the whole thing. Because yes, there's a big dream. There's a blueprint in my head and there's a future version of this that I can see so clearly that it's annoying. But first, let me tell you what I'm working on during this break. Number 1, the resource vault. This is me building you a real home base, a place where you can grab the resources that actually help you without having to scroll your life away trying to find the one thing you saw once at 11 p.m. and then lost forever. I want it organized, I want it easy, and I want it to feel like relief, whether that's support around food, movement, body image, mindset, real life habits, all of it. And here's the part that I'm genuinely excited about. I'm setting it up so that you are not having to enter your info every single time you want a guide, like you're applying for a mortgage just to download a PDF. You put your info in once, you get access, and then you can download the guides directly from the vault. No hoop jumping, no confirm your email 900 times, just click, download, done. Next up, the YouTube channel. Even while the podcast is resting, you can still find me every Friday with a video of the week. And if I ever miss a Friday, it's not because I fell off the face of the earth, it's because I'm a human with a whole life, and sometimes lives. I'll be back. So the Friday videos follow a simple rhythm. We cycle through my 7 pillars of health, then we hit an Educate the Beast episode, and then we start the cycle again. If you've been here a while, you already know this is our weekly anchor. If you're new here, welcome. This is where you can plug in without needing to overhaul your entire personality. So the 7 pillow videos rotate through real life health stuff like rest, healing your inner world, nourishment, movement that's not punishment, connection, decluttering the physical and mental chaos, and pampering. Then Educate the Beast is where I put on the science and nerd glasses and break down what the research actually says, call out myths, and add nuance without being a jerk about it. Also during the break, I'm going to be building out a bigger YouTube series that I've been wanting to create for a long time. One of them, Study with Kait, is me taking the NASM CPT material and turning it into something you can actually understand, actually use, and not hate your life while you're learning. Cooking with Kait is getting a revamp too. Remember those little videos I used to post of me recording cooking shit with my cell phone, and it was just really funny? Well, it was funny to me. But anyway, welcome to my kitchen. No fancy equipment, no picture-perfect countertops, just me working with what I have. This is where I show you how to make delicious, nourishing meals that anyone can tackle no matter your setup. I keep things simple, fun, and real, and along the way I share tips on nutrition and intuitive eating, always with a focus on enjoying food without guilt or pressure. My goal is to help you feel confident and at ease in the kitchen because cooking should be about joy, not perfection. And then, this one's really exciting, I'm going to be doing the history of diets. And it's kind of like a little documentary corner where we trace how diet culture got built, why it keeps recycling the same ideas in different outfits, and how those messages shaped the way so many of us learn to think about food and bodies. It's equal parts fascinating and freeing because once you see the pattern, it gets way easier to stop blaming yourself. And of course, I'm also keeping Desmond and the Beast rolling too because joy counts, fun counts, family counts, and sometimes the best medicine is laughing at something chaotic and wholesome. All right, so I'm also working on a deeper community space, something like a Patreon or school. I haven't picked the exact platform yet because I want to choose what actually fits instead of rushing into something and then regretting it 2 weeks later. But that's the goal. By the time the podcast comes back on April 1st, I want to have a real home for the people who want to go deeper. Kind of like a space where we can actually build community, support, and connection, and not just consume content and scroll on. So all of that is in the works. It's coming, and I'll keep you posted as it takes shape. Okay, now, big dream time. I might cry. Beautiful Beast Within Studios. Hold on, I got this. Okay, Beautiful Beast Within Studios started as a belief that health isn't a punishment, a number, or a before and after story. Why am I crying? It's a lifelong adventure of coming home to yourself. At the heart of everything I do is one-on-one coaching and personal training because that's where transformation begins, in the conversations that rebuild trust, in the workouts that restore confidence, and in the moments where you realize your body was never the enemy. And then from those individual relationships, the mission grows. Because when one person heals, It never stays contained. It ripples outward and changes their family, their friendships, their kids, their relationships, their work, their whole nervous system baseline. And so here's what I see. One day, Beautiful Beast Within Studios becomes a real physical creative sanctuary. Like an actual place that you can walk into and feel your shoulders drop. There's a coaching studio, a quiet, powerful space for one-on-one conversations and real self-exploration. This is where I help you hear yourself again and find the answers that you already have underneath all the noise. Where people can exhale for the first time in years, and where shame dissolves into understanding. Where control turns into connection, and where we stop treating the body like a project to fix and start treating it like a partner in living. Then there's a gym studio, a joyful, inclusive training space where movement is celebration and not punishment, where strong looks different for everyone, and where every rep is not about shrinking, it's about reclaiming, rebuilding trust and feeling power again without the toxic earn your food nonsense. There's a kitchen studio, which is going to be the home of Cooking with Kait. So it's going to be like this big welcoming kitchen where food becomes creativity and connection, and not morality, where we learn how to nourish ourselves in real life with zero perfection required. And in my dream version, every filming day ends the same way. Whatever food is left becomes boxed up and donated because nourishment should ripple outward. What feeds one person can feed many, and food heals communities too. And I also want the kitchen to be a shared resource, a space other creators, coaches, and local people can rent it or use it for their own projects, classes, or meal prep days because I love the idea of this being bigger than me. There's a sound studio, which kind of sort of already exists. I just haven't put anything out on the website about it yet. And I mean, this is a real creative production space, a place where podcasts, meditations, guided education, and original music can just come to life. It's also a place where we help people take their ideas from recorded to finished because not everybody wants to spend their life learning editing software. It's where stories, science, and sound blend to teach, inspire, and connect. And it's a space for both my voice and my hot husband's music to create experiences that move people on every level. So in time, this grows into two distinct spaces. The recording studio for podcasts, meditations, and guided education, and the music studio for composition, scoring, and sound design that turns emotion into melody and healing into art, including custom original music for anyone who doesn't want to use the same tracks everyone else is using. Together, these studios become the heartbeat of Beautiful Beast Within Studios, a place where individualized healing becomes a shared human experience. And then there's the play studio, because I fully believe that joy is a muscle. So the play studio is a creative, movement-based sanctuary for adults to rediscover fun, curiosity, and freedom. Because adults need play too, and adults need spaces that remind them that they are allowed to exist without being productive, perfect, or tiny. So I want a space where people can move, create, and laugh, and just let go. Think trampolines, zip lines, art tables, music corners, sensory zones, the whole vibe. Not because we're trying to become better jumpers on a trampoline, but because sometimes healing is not another hard thing that you have to do. Sometimes healing looks like joy, and play becomes medicine. And in that future version of Beautiful Beast Within Studios, there's free childcare because healing shouldn't have barriers. Every class, event, and workshop includes free on-site childcare. Parents and caregivers get to actually show up and focus on their health, their creativity, their healing, knowing that their kids are nearby, they're safe, and they're having their own kind of fun. And once a week, I want family hours where the play studio is open for shared connection because joy multiplies when it's shared. So that's the big dream. And the bigger impact is that this doesn't have to stay in the building. The extra meals go to local shelters and families. Workshops go into schools, gyms, recovery centers. And my coaching model evolves into mentorship and training so that more people can do this work with compassion-first values. Because again, this is not about building a brand. It's about building a movement. one that helps people find their strength, their softness, and their freedom, and one that proves that purpose and profit can coexist without burnout, manipulation, or shame. Think abundance with integrity. Okay, so during the break, here's how we stay connected. I still show up every Friday, and I send my Friday email, and I drop the Friday YouTube videos. Those two things are the easiest way to keep hanging out with me while the podcast is paused. And if you want the in-between stuff, like the real life stuff, social media is still happening too. I'm not going anywhere. The podcast is just the one thing taking a nap. And one more thing, truly, honestly, no pressure. A lot of what I'm building during this break is unpaid behind-the-scenes work. It's hours of creating, organizing, filming, writing, planning, and building systems while still coaching and still showing up. So if you've ever wanted a simple way to support what I'm creating, I do have a donation page. And since I mentioned Patreon or school earlier, think of this as like the simple right now version of that, like the pre-community support button. Totally optional, but it genuinely helps keep the lights on, keep the content coming, and keep the resources rolling. The link is in the show notes. And lastly, if you want to be a part of what I'm creating in a deeper way, I'm doing market research right now. You can take a survey or you can do a short interview with me, and as a thank you, you'll get a free 1-hour coaching session. Yep, a whole hour, because I'm not just collecting data, I'm building this with you, and I want your voice in it. The links are in the show notes. Also, if you're listening to this and thinking you might want support right now, I am still taking clients and I do still have spots open. I'll put a link in the show notes where you can book a free exploration chat, which is just like you tell me what you want, what you need, and what you've been struggling with, and then we see if we're a good fit to work together. If we are, I will walk you through what that could look like, and if we're not, you still leave with more clarity. The link's in the show notes. All right, that's the update. I will try to drop a quick mini check-in episode on Wednesday, February 18th, which I kind of determined is right in the middle. And then we come back for real with full episodes on Wednesday, April 1st. In the meantime, you know where to find me. Fridays on YouTube, Fridays in your inbox, and the usual chaos on socials. Thank you so much for being here while I build the next version of this. Beautiful beasts, Katie Entrican, signing off. I can't do it. I can do it. Hold on. I can do it. Okay. Beautiful beasts, Katie Entrican, signing off. Until next time.